again on President Xi. A couple of years ago, when President Biden met him in San Francisco, he was asked if he thought President Xi was a dictator. Do you think President Xi is a dictator?
No, but I think that President Biden was an incompetent president. He gave us the Iran nuclear deal, which allowed Iran to have a nuclear weapon within a matter of years from the time they said, I terminated it. If I didn't terminate that, Iran would have a nuclear weapon, and they would have used it within probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago. If I didn't go in with the B-2 bombers 9 months ago, Iran would have a nuclear weapon, and nobody would be able to talk to them. By the way, they would have used it already.
But do you think President Xi is a dictator or not?
I don't think about it.
Right.
He's the ruler. He's the president of China. I don't think about it. You deal with what you have. I respect him. He's very smart. He loves his country. I respect him. Whether he's a dictator, that's for you to figure out. Yeah.
Mr. President, you said you didn't talk about tariffs, but did you talk about fentanyl at all?
I did. I talked about fentanyl. As you know, I put a tariff on because of fentanyl, and they discussed that. But I put a penalty. It's a penalty. A lot of money we take in because of that. I'd prefer not taking it, and I'd prefer that we don't have. But we did talk about fentanyl.
What kind of agreement did you come to?
Well, you know, the fentanyl is down, way down from where it was, and it could be because of the tariff penalty.
Sir, domestic issue, if I could. Where are you on the Texas Senate race?
Well, I'll maybe make a decision. I know them both very well. I like them both a lot, and you know, my record of endorsements is extraordinary. You look at what happened with Indiana, and out of all those races, the one that won was there were 3 Trump people in the race. If they had won, he would have won in a landslide. But I took out all of these candidates, and you know, long-time candidates with big leads against people that never ran before, and the people that never ran before won virtually all the races. And as you know, 2 nights ago I won every single endorsement. A week ago before that I won every single endorsement. There's never been a record of endorsements like this, which is a great honor as far as I'm concerned. No, MAGA is a movement the likes of which our country has never seen before.
But you might not endorse, sir, in Texas.
I don't want to say that. I mean, I'm looking at it very strongly. I like them both. I mean, I'll tell you what I do think. I think the Democrats have a weird candidate. 6 genders, a real hit on Jesus. I mean, this guy is bad news with his mask from relatively recently. And he's a vegan, all of a sudden he's not a vegan. He was a vegan, now all of a sudden he's not. Texas doesn't like vegans. I do believe either one of them will easily win the race. I think that the candidate the Democrats have in Texas is a very flawed, very weak, I think he's a pathetic candidate, especially for Texas. Okay?
Did you see Secretary Rubio in the briefing room the other day, and what did you think?
Are you talking about his outfit?
Yeah, that's it.
I thought he looked very good in the outfit. I don't know if I'd do it, but I thought he looked very good. I think he's outstanding. I thought he was great. I mean, I saw every word of it. I thought he was.
Mr. President, back to what you were saying before about the enriched uranium at Isfahan. So, what would your logic be in having just a 20-year deal? I mean, the deal that you pulled back was 15 years. Whether they would have gotten it faster or not is up to you. But what would the difference be here?
Well, Obama had virtually no deal. Obama had a road to a nuclear weapon, and I terminated that deal. And if I didn't terminate, Barack Hussein Obama, if I didn't terminate that deal, Iran would have had a nuclear weapon 2 years ago. As you know, that deal long expired.
It's taken the most years doing it, and after you're bombing, they're not.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I know you backed Obama, which shows what a fraud you are, because that was the worst deal. They would have had a nuclear weapon within a period of a year and a half after I terminated it. If I didn't terminate that, and if I didn't send the B-2 bombers in 9 months ago to obliterate, you know, one thing that did happen, which was very nice, the top person in Iran representing them was the top person. He said, I'm the only one, meaning the United States is the only one, along with possibly China, that would be able to get the nuclear dust out of that disaster that we created with the B-2 bomber.
Are you willing to do that? And why do you call it
no, at the right time, we'll either go in or we'll get it. I think we'll probably get it. But if we don't get it, we'll go in.
But you're willing to mount the operation to
Well,
take
no,
it
I
out?
think they'll be totally defeated, and we won't have any risk. Yeah, we have the equipment to take it out. Nobody else does. China might have the equipment. They said you're the only one. They said you and China, but they weren't sure. We have the equipment to take it out.
Sir, did you discuss North Korea with Xi?
I did.
What came out of that?
You know, I have a very good relationship with Kim Jong-un. He's been pretty quiet.
Have you had any communications with him?
Yes.
Of what kind?
Doesn't matter. I mean, I don't tell you about that. But I have a good relationship with him. He's been respectful of our country. I want him to be respectful. He's been respectful of our country. Hey, thank you very much. Enjoy the flight, everybody.
Thank you.
I heard you didn't have cameras back here. In fact, I loved it. I heard that. And now they got a camera. I heard that you were shut out for 2 hours until we leave the airspace. But he's got a camera. This guy never misses a trick. You better make me look good with that camera. All right. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for coming back. You're going to see us.
That is Donald Trump, the American president, talking to the press after his summit with Xi Jinping, the Chinese president. He called it historic. He also gave out a few details, if not all, of what he spoke about with Xi Jinping. He also said that China has now agreed to buy 200 Boeing aircraft from the United States. And he said that everything was talked about except tariffs. On a question whether China requested Donald Trump to lift the tariffs on the country, he said that there was absolutely no conversation about it, but there was a lot of conversation about Taiwan, about the Iran war, about AI, about the tech sector. All of these topics were discussed, the denuclearization of Iran. He also said that, Iran cannot have nuclear weapons for the next 20 years. And that is something, as per Donald Trump, that China also agrees to. So, of course, we'll have to wait and see what China says on all of these statements that have been made by Donald Trump. But at the moment, of course, the U.S. president giving out a few more details of what exactly happened. Interestingly, he also talked about what happened apart from this, whether it's the midterm elections or Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, who at the moment is facing a leadership challenge in his country. He said that he is not surviving as the Prime Minister if he's not going to do anything about the energy crisis and the immigration issue that plagues the country. And so survival for him as the Prime Minister will be tough if he doesn't work upon these two things. But as far as China is concerned, the U.S. president clearly labeled it as a successful trip, as a visit that he says, had a lot of benefit for America, particularly the American farmers. Still, as I say, that we are waiting for the Chinese side to give out more details of this entire summit. But this is the American version of what has been happening since the last 2 days. And remember, this is not just about the Iran war. Donald Trump also said that we talked about Taiwan, which is one of the biggest sticking points between the two countries. A statement that was put out by the White House earlier did not mention Taiwan, and that is, something that is quite intriguing for the entire world. We'll have to see what China says on this particular issue. Donald Trump clearly saying that there will be no commitment on Taiwan.